Hello and welcome back to the Architectury Multiplatform Modding in Minecraft tutorial series. And after we've added a block last time, today we're going to add a creative tab to organize all our items and blocks of our mod in the game. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new package. Let's call it tabs, where we create a new class and call these tutorial mod tabs. And in this class we are going to define everything related to our tabs. Now, the first thing we're going to need here is, again, a deferred register for creative mode tabs and deferred register.create. And the first thing, again, is our mod ID. And after that, we want registries.creative mode tab. That's our deferred register. And the next thing we need is our registry supplier for the creative mode tab we're going to create now. Registry supplier, also creative mode tab. And let's call this example tutorial tab. And as we did last time, so we are also going to create an init tabs method here, which we can call later from our void init tabs method, which we can later call from our main mod method. And there we can register everything related to tabs. So now we want to actually create our tutorial tab, and for this we're going tabs.register. And now the first thing we need is the tab ID, in our case tutorial tab. And next we need a supplier for a creative mode tab. And again, the lambda notation we also used for blocks and items. And then we call creative tab registry dot create. And this creative tab registry now needs two parameters. The first one is the title of our tab, and the second is a supplier that gives the item stack that represents the icon that is later shown in the game. So for the title we require a component, and for this you can type component.translatable. And with that we can put in here now a translation key that we can later define in our language file. In our case, category.tutorial tab. And the second thing this method needs is a supplier for the item stack that is shown in game. So we do this and then say new item stack and item stack. And what this method now needs is the item which should be shown there, and we want to show a Ruby, so we're going to call tutorial mod items dot Ruby. That's it for this line, and the only thing we have left to do is to actually register our tabs to the game, similar to mods to blocks and items. Tabs.register, and with that our deferred register registers the tab to the game, and our tab should show up in game. And with that, our tab should then actually show up in game when we call this in a tabs method. And it's important that we call this in a tabs method before we init our items, because we are now going to add our items to this tab, and for this the tab already needs to be registered so that we can do so. So call the init tabs method before we call our init methods for the items, which by the way I'm going to rename to init items so that it looks a bit fancier in this class if we have everything underneath here. So here we say add our items arc tab creative mode tabs dot ingredients, for example. We do not want to do this. Instead we are going to do tutorial mod tabs dot tutorial tab. And the same for our Ruby block. Here we added to the building blocks tab. Now we are adding it to our tutorial tab. That's everything we need to add the items to our tab. And now the last step we need to do is to give the tab a name that's shown in game. And for this we are going to put category.tutorial tab and call it tutorial mod, for example. And this category.tutorial tab we find right here at the beginning is what we specified in our translatable component right here. And that should be everything to add a tab. So let's launch the game and see how it looks in game. Welcome to the game. Let's open the creative mode inventory, and here we see the arrows for the second page. And if we go to the second page, we see our tutorial mod tab with the Ruby as an icon, and we have a Ruby and a Ruby block in this tab. That is the Fabric version. That works, and let's check out the NeoForge version as well, if that also works. So, see you then. And with that, welcome to NeoForge. Let's open the menu. We see also 2 pages. If we go to the second page, we find our tutorial mod tab with our Ruby and our Ruby block. And as you can also see down here, the game recognizes the tab when you hover over the items here. With that, we've successfully added a creative mod tab to organize our mods, items, and blocks. And in the next episode, I'm going to show you how you can add a crafting recipe so that you can craft the Ruby block from our Ruby item. See you then. Goodbye.